All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Baharakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in its truth. And Shalom to the few Akwathim that listen in silence. You know, to all you, I say Shalom. This is another quick hit lesson. I'm the priest Bathak Amath, Jim S. Dallas. And just a really quick, I got a really quick, real quick point I want to make. Another cut to hell being a place of fire, man. You know what I'm saying? These scriptures keep unfolding, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the Lord is beautiful. We're in them times that all truth is coming out. The scriptures say He's going to lead us into all truth. The scriptures also say that ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You know, we're free from the captivity of the lies and deceptions, you know, that we've been placed under, being in this kingdom given into these devils, man. You know, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? So we're no longer in that captivity, man. You know, the Lord is bringing us out of it. Isaiah 60:2. I love that scripture. I always quote it. This earth is in darkness. These people in gross darkness, man. You know, the lies and deceptions, you know, all the madness of this place, man. You know what I'm saying? And the majority of our people don't know truth, man. They've been taught lies, and they believe those lies, and they cling to those lies. And that's why Zechariah 13:8 has it happen. Two parts have to be cut off and die, you know. So, but this thing is about the remnant, the elect. They're the ones getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like it says in verse 1, arise, shine, for thy light is come, man. You know, and the glory of the Lord shall be risen upon thee. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about his elect. So, you know, hey, bro, beautiful cuts, man. The Lord is beautiful, man. You know, so I just want to make a real quick point to another cut on hell, man. This is Tobit 13 and verse 2, and it reads, well, I'll just start in 1, you know, just to get the gist, you know, the context. This is Tobit 13 and 1. It reads, then Tobit wrote a prayer of rejoicing and said, blessed be the Most High that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom. Here's the point. Verse 2, for he doth scourge and hath mercy. You know, he's a power of both. You know what I'm saying? He's a power that'll scourge you, and then he's a power that'll have mercy on you, man. You know, we're just talking about the Israelites, man. You know, because the Israelites is known for going off, man. So it says, verse 2, for he doth scourge and hath mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. Exactly, man. You know, if the Lord is after you, he's going to get you, man. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing you can do. But the point being, that was the point. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. Now, according to the Christian doctrine, hell is the finality, man. You go to hell and you burn for eternity. That's the end of it. So why is it saying here that the Lord, you know, he scourges and he hath mercy. He leadeth down to hell, which is that scourge. That's the scourges. And bringeth up again. That's the mercy, man. You know what I'm saying? So that this scripture breaks itself down. But that's the point. These Christians don't know the Bible, man. They don't know what's going on. So this proves that hell is not a place you go to burn for eternity. Hell is not eternal, man. You know, hell is a condition. That proves it's a condition, because bringing you down to hell is that bad place or condition that the Lord is going to place you in, you know. And then the mercy is going to be shown when he bringeth you back up, man. You know, he bringeth up again. You know what I'm saying? So that's a cut right there on that hell doctrine, man. That hell being a place, a fire, eternal fire. You know, Christians are bugged out and through, and Christianity is done, man. Stick a fork in that crap. It's over, man. It's done. It's finished. You know. So once again, Tobit 13 and 2, cut on the hell doctrine being a fire, eternal fire, place of fire. For he doth scourge and hath mercy. He leadeth down to hell and bringeth up again. You know, so proving that hell is not final. It's not a place you go and burn, man. You know, it's a condition. He'll put you in that condition, then he'll take you out of that condition. That's the scourges. That's the mercy. We just read that in the beginning of the verse. Come on, man. You know, Esau is done, man. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you read in, just to add to the point, when you read in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that's your heaven and your hell, man. The first 14 verses from 1 to 14 is representative of heaven, that exaltation, that loftiness. And verse 15 through 68 is hell, man, being taken down, being on the bottom, man. You know, that's it right there, bro. There's no eternal hellfire anywhere in that. You know, there's slavery, captivity. Things are not going to work for you. You're going to fail. You know, you're going to have people coming up against you like these nations came up against us. You know what I'm saying? That which this is, again, this is for the Israelites, man. Although these nations are going to feel this, the curses, you know, it was for the Israelites, man. The Lord told us if we didn't hearken to his voice to do his commandments that he commanded us to do this day, roughly paraphrasing, they're just going to put all these curses on us. So that's the hell, man. Just like when you read the first verse, the first two verses, it says if we hearken to his voice to do his commandments, then he's going to put us above the nations, you know what I'm saying, all the nations of the earth, and then all these things that we try to do is going to flourish. You know, our children are going to be beautiful. You know, that's why Jake is terrible in these times. That's part of the curses, man, which is hell, you know. So the condition that our people have been in is a hellish condition, man. You know, nothing worked. You know, we're on the bottom. It says we were going to be the tail, and Esau was going to be the head. He was going to lend. We were going to be the borrowers. He's going to be the lenders. This nigga will not lend to Jake, you know, when we try to go borrow, you know. That's why Jake can't come up in this place. Yeah, we're the tail. He's the head. You know, and it says all these things are going to be as a sign and a wonder forever, which just means a long time, man. You know, so all of those things, curses, man. You know, those are the curses. You know, we're going to fail in the field, which means the world. The basket going to fail. That's your businesses. You try to, you know, hey, bro, it's all there, man. You know, the fruit of our loins, the children. You see it, little monsters. The scriptures say it, you know, which that's twofold. You know, it means the cleft lips, you know, actually coming out looking deformed and shit. But it also means, you know, literal. Look at Jake out here, man. You know, sagging pants. You know, through, you know, gun toting, effeminate, ready to shoot his brother just for looking at him. Those things, man. These are the conditions our people are under, man. Which is curses, which is hell. You know what I'm saying? That's the hell. You know, and Esau has been in his kingdom, his heaven. You know, he's been under 1 through 14. Everything has worked for this devil. That's why they're trying to get it back now, man. But it's over. It's through. You know, you've been above the nations. You've had that. That them golden era, the golden era, and all this thing you're trying to get back now, making America great again, and you know, no, bro, that's done. It's over. We're at the end of yours now. Like the scripture says, 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter, and verse 9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So now everything is going to flip pursuant to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, and verse 7. You know, all the curses going to go on our enemies. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening, man. You know, so you're about to go into the curse. You've been in your blessing of the heaven, the kingdom of heaven, going into Genesis, the 27th chapter. Fatness of the earth, dew from heaven. You're going to rule with the sword. You've done that, bruh. You know, now it's Jacob's turn. You know what I'm saying? So it's over, bro. Stop. You know, y'all are going under the curses. Because it was when you go back to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, in the first verse, it says everything was set to go through both the blessing and the curse. So there it is, bro. You know, and the two major players in that was Jacob and Esau, man. That's why the scripture saying Hebrews 11 and 20, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. So it was about those two players, man. Everything is about those two players, man. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning in Genesis, the 25th chapter, in the heading, you know, end times. You know what I'm saying? Those things there's things that still have to come to pass. Isaiah 46, I believe, in 10, you know, bro, all these things are written, man. But without getting too far off the topic, heaven and hell, you know what I'm saying? Conditions in the earth, loftiness, exaltation. Of course, we know there's three forms of heaven, you know what I'm saying? Which is exaltation in the earth, that loftiness, being above the nations, having everything working for you, you know, that golden cup that Esau's been in the Lord's hand, you know, all of those things, you know, represent that heaven, which he's had, you know. And then you have the what we call outer space outside of the ozone layer or the firmament, you know, and then further out in the further reaches, fourth dimension, is the heavens out there in the spirit realm where Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and the angels reside, man. You know, you know, that's their habitation. So, you know, those are the three levels of heaven, man, you know, which Apostle Paul psalm, you know what I'm saying? It speaks of it in the Psalm, the book of Psalms, you know what I'm saying? So all these things are scriptural. They're in the Bible, man, for you Christians that don't have any knowledge, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, then you have your hell, which is being bought low, man, being at the bottom, you know. That's why the scriptures say in Matthew, the 5th chapter and verse 5, the meek shall inherit the earth. Yeah, we're going to inherit the earth, which is the kingdom of heaven. That's the blessings. That's the heaven. That's it. Then we'll get Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, man. You know? So that's what it's talking about, man. You know, and that's your heaven and your hell, the exaltation, the loftiness, and the which is your heaven, and then the hell, being brought low, been at the bottom of this society. No one respecting you. Everybody, the bywords and proverbs and bywords. You know what I'm saying? Being called niggas and spiggers and you know what I'm saying? All the you know, gorillas and apes and monkeys and porch monkeys and all the things, you know, all that negativity, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the condition of hell, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's talking about. So there it is, Tobit 13 and 2, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he leadeth down to hell and he bringeth up again. So hell is not final, man, and hell ain't eternal. It's not forever. The Lord puts you in a condition for a period of time, then he's going to take you out of that condition. You know, hell, even Esau ain't going to go into to slavery forever. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be in hell for 1,000 years, but at the end of that, he's going to get exterminated and obliterated out of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? These other nations going to have to do the same. That 1,000-year period of hell, of slavery, slavery, you know, terrible conditions. But after that 1,000-year period, they're going to come out of that and they're going to get to go back to their places and set up and establish their economies and the whole nine. They're just going to be tributaries to the nation of Israel. This is what the Bible is talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? Not that Christian jargon. What's that word? I'm gonna say rhetoric. You know, jargon but rhetoric, man. You know, the Christian rhetoric is done, man. It's over. They're through. They don't understand the Gentiles. They don't understand anything. But I don't want to make this too long. So like I said, it's going to be short. So that's it. You know, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, which I hope to be a part of. I brought Sabbath Shah. With that, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone. And peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shah, Dawadat, Shalom.